Tales from Ilgraya presents The Once and Future Crown, a short story by KSA10.
There were less floating doors here, and the ones that were in this area all looked more like the doors from a dungeon than the more modern styles Sorsha was accustomed to.
Why do they look so funny?
Sorsha asked.
Pardon?
Misha grumbled quizzically at her tiny passenger.
The doors. They all look funny. Why?
They are very old.
The phoenix responded, chortling softly in its parrot-like voice.
Are they older than you?
Sorsha asked, and the group erupted with laughter.
They're older than all of us combined.
The phoenix chortled as they responded.
Oh, well, then why's the moon look funny?
Sorsha asked, pointing towards the sky.
Because we are walking on a salt flat.
Tony answered this time.
As the salt crumbles underfoot, it releases vapors.
Really? What kind of vapors would make the moon a rainbow?
Sasha asked, eyes still glued to the moon.
The vapors which come from soul salt, dearie.
Tony responded once more.
Soul salt?
The youngling raised an eyebrow, casting their gaze out across the darkened plain.
It is a byproduct of life and death.
The dragon responded.
That salt is the tiny particles which are shaved away when the bond between a soul and its host body breaks down.
Oh,
Sorsha lapsed back into silence, staring at the ever-changing landscape around them. Ahead in the distance, the moon seemed to be illuminating a glittering path. It seemed to twist and turn throughout the barren landscape, almost as if it were intentionally guiding the party towards the spire. Sasha was unsure of how much time had lapsed since the party had first entered this space. There was no real way for the child to make such a determination. The moon, up above, seemed to be static, as if it were permanently fixed to its spot in the distance. There were no clouds to obscure the sky. So the group cast large shadows across the swirling rainbows of salt vapor. The only time their shadows shifted was when the group turned their trajectory. The child's eyes went wide with wonder as they observed the world around them. The ground shifted from shining rainbowed salt to sand, to dark, tightly packed dirt. Where it became covered with a patchwork of colourful mosses, which gave way to a crystalline field of tiny ferns and lichen, before becoming plush and verdant with the crystalline foliage of slightly larger plants which gleamed in the moonlight. Now, as the party looked ahead, the once distant spire was a massive, looming structure which stretched up, before disappearing into the sky. Large, looping, woody structures began to rise from the ground. They looked like leafless trees, except for the fact that they inevitably grew back into the ground and were brightly coloured, as if they were glowing in the dark. To Sasha, these looked like massive, crystalline tree roots. Some structures even had what appeared to be moss and lichen growing to carpet them. A fair number of the structures simply presented a tripping hazard, while others were so massive that the entire party could pass under without touching. The tangled growth of foliage seemed to close in around the group as they moved. The sensation of being watched was back. The feeling was so strong that Sasha curled back, huddling into the dragon's wings for some form of protection. A voice drifted on the wind, making Sorsha shudder. The child peered around in suspicion. None of the adults seemed to hear the voice. The voice whispered once again. The unnerved child looked around with wide, fearful eyes. They glanced from the dragon to the phoenix. They'd stopped, as if frozen in time. Neither were so much as blinking as the word was once again whispered on the wind, causing the child to look around frantically. For the child, Sorsha was a chosen name. They picked it on the spot to tell the dragon. This was not uncommon for runaways, especially runaway nutritors. What was uncommon was hearing a name they had not spoken aloud in almost a year being whispered on the wind. Usually if one member of your group heard a sound, everybody heard it. Yet it seemed apparent by the statuesque state of the party that Sorsha alone was aware of what was happening.
Tales from Ilgraya. The Once and Future Crown is a short story by KSA10. Special thanks to Sparkle Writers for beta reading this short. Want more? Visit www.talesfromilg.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The grand finale is coming soon.